Hi and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to do something new for my channel. We're going to go ahead and take this Firefly and we're going to take it apart. We're going to look under the pickups, we're going to look under the control cavities, we're going to measure the neck, the fretboard radiuses. We're going to get every detail we possibly can off this guitar because from the manufacturer you get mahogany body, mahogany neck, rosewood fretboard, bone nut, and nickel strings. That is all the information they give you. So for all those wondering, we're going to take a look and see exactly what makes a Firefly a Firefly. And this is the FFLPS model. So let's go ahead and get into this in detail.
Okay, so these screws on the back, I've noticed over the last week, they can catch on your fabric and they can actually damage it. So you'll want to watch that. I will at some point soon file these down or replace them. But I want to make you guys aware of that real quick. Now, on this model, or on mine in particular, this bass saddle has been rattling every time you hit the E string, so hopefully that'll fix when I intonate it. We also have some pretty nasty looking spots up here at the nut, especially around the light E and the B strings. The nut itself looks good, but I do hope that cleans up a little bit. Now we've got a 16-inch radius on the fretboard, so it's nice and flat, so if you like playing Ibanez's and guitars with that kind of radius, it's great. Just to double check what strings came on it, I believe they're 10s. Now, my caliper only goes to 0.02 decibels instead of 3. So for some things you might need to do inches and millimeters if you're not sure by looking at it. But I've been able to use it just fine so far. So we've got 10 to 46 on here for strings. We've got 13.6 at the bridge pickup. We've got 5.5 at the middle pick, or at the split position, the bridge and the neck together. And then the neck pickup, we've got, looks like 9.4, 9.5. And remember, that's just ohms resistance. It's not a true measure of output. So the covers here for your cavities, they're not shielded and they fit really nicely, but they're just real basic thin plastic. The control cavity itself, during my review, I said it was shielded. This may just be regular paint. The more I'm looking at it, I don't think that's actually shielding paint. I think they just painted the cavities to look nice. However, full-size pots, they were unmarked. I'm trying to see anything in here on them. I don't see anything except some scratches. So, still can't tell you what they are, but at least they're full-size. You've got some decent-looking caps and wiring. Same thing here with the switch. I don't think that's shielded at all. I think it's just painted. But decent wiring and switch. The truss rod cover is thin, flimsy plastic. The black is flaking off of that white already. A painted truss rod cavity, but I can't see the truss rod. So that's going to be a deep Allen wrench. Now, the nut, as I said before, it's actually cut pretty good. I'm really impressed with that. The frets, they're rounded, but they're not polished. The fretboard is beautiful, and they did a good job on the inlays. However, it's dirty and dry. We will take care of that here shortly. But I do like the figuring on the fretboard. I think it's very good looking. It does need to darken up. This was the other really bad spot, was really just kind of dirty looking down here by the last frets. So the pickups, they're ceramic, but I like the sound of them personally. They may be a little too harsh for some people. Again, we've got painted cavities, so I can't really tell much about it. Pickups just marked with an N for, I'm assuming, neck. So everything's real basic here. We are able to get some information, like you can see the wiring and stuff, but there's no indicators in here to see the wood. I can't tell you where the cap is. I can't tell you how thick it is because you just can't see any wood. Same thing in this cavity. It's painted. We got a B on the pickup for bridge, and you really can't tell anything else. So without taking some sandpaper to some of the cavities, we can't verify the woods as much as we'd like to, but I believe it's correct. Now these posts, if there's a little play to them, I believe that's true of all of these style guitars. Somebody correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but they don't free spin on you or anything, so they're fine. Now we have short post pots here. So inexpensive speed knob style knobs. They feel great. I don't think there's any problem with these. I don't know that they would fit normal size pots. I think these are the smaller size, but they're just fine on here. Everything works great. So We've got 0.93 width at the nut or depth at the nut, and 0.96 at the 12th fret, so it's a pretty consistent neck. It is straight. There was just the tiniest amount of relief, but according to the straight edge and eyeballing it, yeah, it's a nice straight neck from the factory, so that's always a good sign. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the way this neck looks. It does need to be cleaned up, the fretboard. It's dry, and now you can see how much better it looks. And it took 3 coats. It was needing a lot. Now, I could not weigh these. The tailpiece and the bridge, I don't have my jeweler's scale available. They feel nice and heavy. They're not ultra lightweight by any stretch. You don't want to get hit by these things. They're unmarked, so they're not high end, but they're not the cheapest thing out there either. These are, I would love to weigh them. I'm sorry I don't have that scale available, but they feel pretty decent. So we're going to go ahead and get the neck shapes real quick. This is a really neat way to show what the neck actually looks like, the actual shape. I think it's pretty cool. And I actually got this idea from Trogley, if you ever watch his channel. But I thought that was a great way to do it, because you can match that up with an actual chart if you're unsure for yourself. So the guitar definitely is looking better. We've got 43.2 width at the nut, and we've got 52.3 at the 12th fret. Now the output jack I wanted to pull out, but these screws are actually starting to strip, so I left it in there for now. With these screws and the ones on the covers, I would just replace them when you can, because once you take these out, you're probably not going to be able to get them all back in. Yeah, the fretboard conditioning made a huge difference on how the fretboard looks. Took off a lot of dirt. It made my rag just black. I was able to adjust the bridge saddles and intonate the bridge completely. It also took care of the rattle on the E string. So yeah, it's good to go.
Alright, well that is the Firefly FFLPS, a complete teardown, all the specs I can possibly give you right now. So I hope that's helpful. If you enjoy this kind of content, please click like and subscribe, click the bell icon to stay notified. Leave me some comments and suggestions, I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, keep playing.